All right, got a topic for y'all tonight, and I'm pretty sure like 95% of the people watching this have gone through this at some point or have had it happen to them. But how have you handled getting stood up or flaked on? Basically, you plan a date or you plan an evening with somebody who you've been talking to for a little bit, and then a couple days, the day of, or maybe even an hour or a half hour before, they all of a sudden don't show up for whatever reason, or they come out with some excuse. I mean, they say it's pretty much happened to everybody, but I want to know, how did you handle it personally, or how did I mean, because how I reacted to it, a few years ago was different to how I reacted now, because I would go off the handle. I would be like, "Where the f you been? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me?" Da, da, da. I would react overly emotionally. But now, not so much. I'm a little bit more mellow and lenient about it than I used to be. I don't really overreact about it anymore. And the reasons why you might get stood up by somebody, it varies depending on the person. Like me personally, if I get stood up, depending on who they are and depending on how much I like them, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, because I know life happens. But me personally, I'm not gonna do no BS. Like, well, if I plan a date for you, if I tell a girl Monday, I say, hey, let's go out Friday at 7 o'clock for dinner and a movie, and then 20 minutes before the date, I say, oh no, I can't make it. That's BS. Like that is complete. That's trash. Don't do that to anybody. That's disrespectful, and that is unmindful of your time and theirs. And that's what a lot of people don't take into account. Is you can't waste somebody else's time without wasting your own. Now, have I canceled on dates before? I haven't even really stood anybody up. I mean, have I canceled? Yeah, but the couple of times that I have canceled on a date that I was looking forward to, it was for a legitimate reason. Now, the first time is there actually was a family emergency. It was damn near a life or death situation where one of my younger siblings had to get picked up. They didn't have anybody and they were stuck damn near in the middle of nowhere all alone. And I had to kind of cancel my date because of that. And the second time, it wasn't even really a canceling the date. It was more of a delay. I was supposed to be getting. I had to work. I remember plain as day. I had to work from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I said we're gonna link for a date at 7 o'clock. And then my boss said he wanted me to stay an hour over. And I say, well, can the movie, the next movie start time doesn't start till 8:30. Instead of going on a date at 7, can we go at 8 o'clock instead? And she pretty much said, and she said yes. She didn't turn it down. Now, see, there's nothing wrong with plan. If it's a lot more respectful and mindful of people's time if you give them a legitimate reason as to why you do it. And I might catch hell for this one, but I really don't care. Females are a hell of a lot more flakier than males are, because a lot of women might say yes to a date, especially if a guy has been begging them for weeks, months, or however long, just try to get with them, and then all of a sudden, a day before, an hour before the date, she says she can't make it, or she just completely stands you up. Now, the thing is, that hurts a hell of a lot more than canceling at the last minute. Like if like I said, we go to let's like I say let's go to the movies at 7:30, and then all of a sudden I'm still waiting at the movie theater at 8:15 and don't hear anything. It's like, well, because that's actually happened before. I waited for this girl at the movie theater at 7:30, and then I finally left the movie theater at 8:45, and I didn't get pissed. Well, I was pissed off. I was really upset, but I didn't cuss her out or anything. I just pretty much just cut her off and blocked her number and blocked her on all social media. I can't stand that BS double standard, because it seems like it's always a legitimate excuse when a woman flakes. Like, if a woman flakes, either she wasn't into him, or she had something better to do, or she just didn't like the date, or whatever the case might be. Like, but if a man flakes on a woman, he's garbage, he's trash, he's unmindful of her time, he's disrespectful. Or my favorite one, he ditched her to be with another woman. Now, I'm not saying that that doesn't happen, because, of course, it happens all the time. It happens everywhere. But it does not happen as often as you might think it is. But, like I said, the thing is, like, a lot of people, including myself, like, if I've been trying to, get somebody to go on a date with me, or try to, link with somebody, it shows that, I'm showing interest in you, and that I respect you enough to want to spend or share some time with you. And a lot of people, they don't share that. But now, as far as how I handle getting canceled on the last minute, it depends on how it's done. It depends on how soon you do it. I mean, like I said, it depending on the person, it depends on the situation, and if you respect me enough to say I can't make it, or let's say, I might not be able to make it tonight, but we can reschedule or we can do it later on. I will give you the benefit of the doubt. But if you're gonna be just complain straight out disrespectful and you say I can't make it and don't give me a legitimate explanation why, or you just ghost at the last minute, if you just stand them up, then nah. Like I would just that right there, it just warrants a complete cutoff. You are well within your rights to cut somebody off who does not respect you or your time, because especially if somebody reaches out to you and wants to spend time with you. But yeah. Anyway, guys, what do you think? Tell me what you think about this. Like, how many times in your life have you ever been stood up? And if so, how do you handle it? And do you handle it different now than you used to back in the day? Let me know what y'all think. And just one more other thing. There is a girl on my Snapchat whose name I'm not gonna mention, but she watches my snaps pretty frequently. And if you are watching this, you know who you are. But also, if people don't give you a legitimate answer, if you ask them out, if they give you half-ass answers, or if they say, I'll think about it, maybe, we'll see, then if they give you any other answer besides that, just say no and just, just move on. Because this is what happened. I said, I asked her Tuesday, are you free Saturday? And then she was like, well, I might be. We'll see. And then, well, luckily for me, I ended up not having to get. I ended up not getting off of work until like 9 o'clock that night. Anyway, I said 8, but I ended up not getting off at 9. But she said, "Well, I'm sorry, I gotta cancel. I had other plans." And then I look at her snap, and then she was at the movie theater with another nigga. So, yeah, there was that.